Family Ties is the movie I'm reviewing today, guys. Welcome to my channel. I review YouTube Nollywood movies. Family Ties is on Uchenna Bonabo, produced and executive produced by Uchenna Bonabo, and the director is Ben Kasi. This movie talks about a cheating husband that had another child outside of his marriage and now has to bring this child into his marriage. Of course, the first wife and his only child, or the other child from the first wife, refused to accept this child or this new child into the family. So that is what Family Ties is all about. What I like about this movie, let me start with the acting, directing, and cast of this movie. I actually love Zack Orji's acting. I love the way he was calm. Even though he made a mistake in his marriage, he was so calm about his acting. I mean, that was what he was expected to act, but like, I really love the calmness. I mean, he's not old, Zack Orji of 20 years ago is not the same Zack Orji we saw in this movie. He was very calm, cool. I mean, if you guys know, or you may not know, he had a surgery few months back, or let's say a year now. Yeah, he had a brain surgery. Yeah, so I'm thinking, him taking some of this role has to do with the fact that the things that he will be acting in this role has to be very subtle, quiet, soft father figure. And I think that's what he did in this movie. And I kind of like it. I miss Zack Orji so much. So I'm always praising these legends anytime I see them in movies. I really want them to continue working as long as they can and, continue to earn a living. So seeing Zack Orji in this movie was really sorting to see. I really do like the way he acted as well. Next character that I love in this movie is Clinton Joshua. He was also that wicked stepbrother. That wicked stepbrother who was not intelligent but pretending to be intelligent anyway. I really love the way he acted as well. Then talking about my favorite character in this movie is the woman who acted as Zack Orji's wife. Oh, this woman can act. This is the second movie of her I really love so much. I mean, Uchenna Bonabo actually uses this woman to produce most of his movies. I've actually not seen this lady or this woman in another production on YouTube. Mostly is Uchenna Bonabo, so she can act. Do you guys see the movie she acted with Clinton Joshua and Chienebe at the farmlands? Yeah, you guys remember that movie, right? You see the way she was very good. Exactly, she was good here as well. I really love her acting. She was my favorite character in this movie. This woman is top notch. She's really good. So I really love her character and her acting as well. The passion that she used in acting shows in her character, and I really like that as well. Another thing I like about this movie is costume. Costume from the same woman once again. I mean, she has a business, a flourishing business. She's very rich. She's a boss lady or a boss woman. So that reflected in her makeup, in her hair. This woman's hair was always on flake. If it is straight, bone straight, whatever, it is very slick. The other hair that she wore was slick. They're talking about costume. The outfits were on point. This woman was wearing heels, not just 2 inches or 1 inch or 3. This woman's heel were long. I'm like, this woman can walk on heel. Oh, she looks really good. Her wardrobe in this movie was spectacular. Talking about wardrobe, Zack Orji's wardrobe was also good, from the suit to agbada to casual wear. They were all on point. Then of course, Clinton, who was a student in this movie, he looks really good. That's when, of course, the little girl that acted, she was also, her costumes were on point. So for costume department for this movie, they were all on point. Lastly, I want to say this movie had a very good size. The size of this movie is perfect. You guys know that I do not like tiny sizes of movie when they post it on YouTube. So of course this movie came with the right size, which is 16.9. So kudos to Uchenna Bunabo for making sure that this movie is posted in the right size. Frame size is so perfect. I was like, okay, they are taking into consideration these little things, so I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, the size is right. So yeah, basically those are the things I like about this movie. Moving on to what I do not like about this movie, let's start with the storyline. We have heard the storyline before, not just heard, we've seen it on YouTube before, you know, a man cheating and bringing in the stepchild or bringing in the other child from the other family to the married family, and of course the wife or the children in the first marriage will be more treating the other. We've seen a storyline like this. This is not new, so we knew how it was going to end. We knew that the woman or the first wife will eventually accept the other children into the family. So yeah, the only twist about this story and the others is the fact that the woman was the one that caused the husband to cheat, and of course, and how the husband met the other lady. So that's basically the difference between this and the other same story that we've seen before. So basically the story is not new. If you have watched this movie, you definitely know that I know how this movie ends. So yeah, that's something I do not like about this movie. Another thing I don't like about this movie is cinematography. Obviously, Uchenna Bunabo, I'm waiting for the day I will really love his cinematography, especially color grading and lighting department when it comes to cinematography. Uchenna Bunabo, I don't know, I keep saying that I think his editing team has this preset they use for editing their movies. So for color grading, there's no exchange. I don't think I'm going to expect anything different anytime soon. I do not like it. The lighting is always very terrible, very bad, and of course the color grading always bad. And talking about color grading, we always have this ashen looking thing going on with the color grading thing, and cameras are this particular movie, the focusing had a problem in most of the scenes. That brings me to the lighting. I mean, if you have bad lighting, focusing and things like that will always be a problem. So I think that his editing crew, which of course is Uchenna Bunabo, they have this preset on their Premiere Pro or Photoshop, whatever app they use in editing their movies. I think they have the preset already, so all they do is just take a preset, add it to their videos, and that's it. They do not really consider some of these little details. So I'm not a fan of Uchenna Bunabo's cinematography, so I don't think I'll be a fan if he doesn't change the color grading and lighting or whatever, or whether it's preset that he uses. I'm still not going to be a fan of the cinematography of Uchenna Bunabo. Me, I'm not a fan. I really do not like it. This movie had too much bad lighting on it, and I was so disappointed. So that was something I did not like. Then talking about length of this movie, of course, that's time. This movie is 2 hours 20 minutes plus or 30 minutes plus, so basically almost 3 hours movie. For a storyline, we know how it will end. For a storyline that has no plot twist, for a storyline that is very basic, we've seen it before, it was super long. And talking about super long, when it comes to Ben Castle, I mean, I've been doing this review for like say 6 months now, so I kind of know who prolongs their movies when they are directing. This movie is directed by Ben Cassie, and Ben Cassie movie with Uchenna Bunabo is always 2 hours plus, and I don't know why. Maybe because most of the scenes that delay this movie is they don't talk, they don't do anything, they are just giving us cool song. Their character is showing, they are sober, they are happy, they are angry. The camera is just focusing on them, and the song is just playing, and they are taking us through the moment to consume whatever has happened in that particular scene or what has happened in the movie so far. So it's like they're just delaying on purpose. I really do not get it, but yeah, this movie is super long for a movie like this or a storyline like this. Too long. Lastly but not the least, I want to talk about location. And of course, if you are familiar with Uchenna Bunabo, this location shouldn't be a surprise to you. This house is, if you see this house, you know that this is Uchenna Bunabo's movie, Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the location. They're talking about the other lady that Zack cheated on. The other house was shown, was it twice or three times, and that's it. All the other scenes were in the house that we are already familiar with. So I'm not a fan of the location of this movie. It's too basic for a YouTube movie. Basically, the standard is just too basic and too low for a movie like this. So yeah, I'm not a fan. So those are the things I do not like about this movie. And on that note, I'll give this movie a 4/10. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't watched Family Ties, do well to watch. Obviously, you should bear in mind that this movie is almost 3 hours. So of course, if you have 3 hours to spare, you know what to do. Go to Uchenna TV and watch Family Ties. I'll see you all in the next video.